Hi, it's Nell, and today I'm going to be showing you how to propagate a holiday cactus, aka Thanksgiving and or Christmas cactus, by stem cuttings with one easy twist. And I'm going to be propagating this plant in a mix, but other ways that you can propagate this plant are by division. This actually is 3 separate plants in one, because that is how the grower grows them. Usually you'll find a few different plants in here. And I'm going to be repotting this soon, so I will be showing you that method also at the same time. Or you can do it, I've heard, by stem cuttings in water. I've never tried that. Or by seed, which is way too time consuming for me. The one thing that I do grow by seed is my arugula, because it germinates and is able to harvest fairly fast. But I've heard that growing a Christmas cactus by seed, it takes about 3 to 4 years to reach this stage here. Okay, before I start in on the propagation, I'm just showing you the close-up on the 3 different plants there. It's hard to tell from far away because it just looks like one big plant. And it is the end of January, and this is a really good time for me to propagate my Thanksgiving cactus, because you want to do it about a month or 2 after they finish blooming. That is the best time. And mine finished blooming probably the first week in December, because it's so warm. I'm in Tucson, Arizona. There's no snow here. So this is when I am going to do it. And for you, if you had a Christmas cactus and it bloomed until the end of December, then you have a month or 2 after that to propagate it, after the blooms are all gone. And I've done videos on Christmas cactus care and getting your Christmas cactus to bloom again, so you'll definitely want to check those out. I will leave the links down below, and there will also be a blog post to go along with this in case you want more info. And this is basically it for the materials right here. Of course, the plant, the pot the cuttings are going into, the cuttings, and my beloved little mini trowel. I use this for a lot of propagating, but you could always use a spoon. That would work fine too, but I just love this. So this is what makes this a Thanksgiving cactus. These almost claw-like things coming out the side of the leaves. That's why it's also called a crab cactus. And of course, because it is a Thanksgiving cactus, it blooms earlier. So it's best to take the cuttings and let them heal over for at least half a day. I took these last night. It's now the afternoon, and that's where that is the bottom right there. Obviously, well, maybe not obviously if you're new to it. That's why, I just wanted to point it out. And what healing over does is it just kind of lets it scar over a bit. And you do that with succulents. Some succulents I let heal over for 2 to 3 months, but these, it's best if you let them heal over for a day because the leaves are so thin. So I'm going to take a few more cuttings just to show you the twist part. I was just doing the twist behind the table here, but I like to take at least 2 or 3 or 4 leaf segments. I don't take single ones. That's just what I prefer to do. And let me see one toward the edge where you can really see it. It's right. I'll take this one right here. And what I do is I just go down where it meets that part of the leaf, and I just twist. And it comes off. I'll do another one, maybe a smaller one toward the front so you can really see that. Okay, I'm going to take, I'm trying to find one that's not like divided. Okay, let's take this one here. And I just hang on to this and I go twist, and they come right off nice and clean. You can use pruners or a knife, but this is so easy. I say, why bother getting one more tool? Now, the propagation mix that I am using is actually the succulent mix that I use. And it's cocoa coir chips, it's got pumice, and it's got a little bit of compost. I usually don't use compost, or I don't use compost when propagating, but this just has a little bit in it and I don't use any extra at all. But this is the mix here. I put it right in here so you can see. Another mix that is good to use is cocoa coir and perlite, half and half. And cocoa coir I like to use because it's an much more environmentally sound alternative to peat moss. Much better for the environment. Okay, so now on to the propagation, and this is where the trowel comes in. Just make an indent about 1/2 inch to 3/4 down, and then I just put the cutting in there. You don't want to put it too far down in because you don't want it to rot out, but this is a light mix, so it's going to be fine. And these two are the ones I just took, and they should be healing over. And you can plant them really close too if you'd like. Depends on how many you're doing. Oops. There we go, and then Big Daddy, I'm going to put right in the middle there. Oops. Oh my gosh. And that is what happens sometimes. There we go. It doesn't look like a fancy plant, but you know what? It's going to do the trick. And there's a close-up on those cuttings. All standing up just fine. So now what you need to do is put your sweet little holiday cactus cuttings into a spot that has nice, bright, but indirect light. I'm going to put mine in my utility room. It has a skylight in it, so it's nice and bright, but there's no hot, direct sun on it. And you don't want it to completely dry out, and you don't want it to stay soaking wet. And remember, the ends of the cuttings are only down like 3/4 inch. So I would recommend to water it this way. Just give the mix, the top of the mix, a nice spray every now and then when you think it is drying out. Do that, and if you get a little bit of the spray on the Christmas cactus, don't worry about that because they are epiphytes. They are actually, are they tropical or subtropical or both? They are the tropical cactus. They're not a desert cactus. Oh yes, and as I said, don't compost and don't fertilize because they are in the process of rooting. You don't want to do that. And there's no need to put plastic over it to create like a greenhouse type of effect. Some cuttings benefit from it. These, you don't need to. It's easy and simple as a snap or a twist. Now, I used to grow Christmas cactus in my garden in Santa Barbara. I grew them in pots outdoors. And I forget how it broke off. But anyway, a couple of stems broke off of one of my Christmas cactus, or my Thanksgiving cactus actually, and I did not notice it, and it was like on its side you know, because it had fallen. And so I was like, oh, they just rooted into the ground on their sides. So when I picked the cutting up, the cutting was here, and instead of the roots coming out here, they were coming out the side because they were growing into the ground. But I just stuck them back into the pot that they had fallen out of. They propagate on their own. So I hope you have found this video about propagating a holiday or Thanksgiving or Christmas cactus by stem cuttings in one easy twist to be helpful. I thank you for all your likes and your subscribes. I really appreciate them. I have a lot more videos coming your way, so stay tuned for those. And let's get out in the garden or into our indoor gardens and make our worlds a more beautiful place. As always, I thank you so much for watching. Bye.